What's going on, good people? Thank you for joining us for our first installment of the Sessions with the Sensei YouTube series. In this session, we will be covering the basics of fractions. Okay, I'm excited to see y'all too. Now, before we get started, here's a couple things to keep in mind. Remember, this is meant to be an interactive activity, so please try to make sure that you got you some paper on hand, a whiteboard, or something where you can write these problems down. Feel free to pause the video at any time if you need to slow down or grab materials. As you can see, I have a piece of paper set up just like you guys. And we're going to start by putting our name at the top. So for me, Sensei. Okay, you can also put the date if you like. Okay. Now we're going to start off by drawing a shape. What shape would you like to draw? Square, circle, triangle? How about we start with a square? Okay. Alright. So, right now, this is one square, which would be a whole number, right? Okay. Now, if I divide this by putting a line in the middle, now that shape, which was a whole number, is now a fraction. Okay, so let's write the word fraction. Okay. And what a fraction is a part of a whole number. Okay. So for instance, we had one square, now we broke it into two pieces. Okay. So a fraction, you have two parts. The top is known as your, I have to make this line a little longer. The top is known as your numerator. Okay. And your bottom is known as your denominator. Okay. Now, your numerator is what we call our parts. And our denominator is what we call our whole. Okay. So I was to shade one side of this. You can also shade in yours if you like. If I was to shade in this side, okay. Now that would be 1/2. Okay, because one of my two parts is shaded. Okay, does that make sense? Alright, rock with me. If I was to shade in this half, this part, okay, now that would change to 2/2. Okay. And actually, when we have the same number for our numerator and our denominator, okay, that will give us 1. And that's how it could become a whole number again. Okay, because both parts are shaded in. Alright, not bad, not bad. Let's draw us a circle. Okay, let's draw us a circle. Okay. Your circle probably looks a little better than mine. Okay. Now let's break this circle into 4 pieces. So if I put a line going down the middle, that's 2. Now I can do a line going right across. So now we have turned this one circle into a fraction, or into parts. Okay, so let's count up how many parts we have in now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that number 4 goes on our bottom for our denominator. Okay, so let's see if we were to color 2 what would our fraction be? Good job. If we were to color another part, our fraction would change to what? 3 out of 4. Good job. Now, if we were to color in this last part, so that now all 4 are colored, that will give us a fraction of 4 over 4, which would also give us 1. Let's try to draw us a rectangle. So we got us a rectangle going on. Like that. Let's try to break this rectangle into 5 pieces. So we got 1, 2, 3, 5. So let's see how many parts we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good job. So our denominator would be what number? 5. We're going to try something different. I'm going to make one of my parts blue. Okay. If you have crayons, feel free to color these in with me. I'm going to make 2 of them yellow. And the last 2 I'm going to make green. I'm going to ask you some questions based off the parts that we have in this figure right here. Okay. So first question, can you give me the fraction for the number of yellow shaded regions in the rectangle? So what would the fraction be for the yellow shaded regions? So we have 1, 2. So good. 2 out of the 5 are yellow. Okay, good job. Let's fix that L right there. Alright. So how many of the shaded regions are not blue? Okay, so let's write that, not blue. So of course our denominator would be 5. Good. So how many of these are not blue? Okay, so this one is obviously blue. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. Good job. So 4 out of the 5 are not blue. Great job. How many of them are green? Okay, so how many do we have in all? 5. Good. And we have 1, 2 green shaded regions. Good job. Okay, so real quick, there are 3 types of fractions. Okay, so we gotta remember this, the 3 types of fractions. Okay. The first, okay, is what we call proper fractions. Okay. And with the proper fraction, I'll give you a few examples. Like 1/2. Okay. 3/8. Okay. Also, we could do 5/10. Okay. And with a proper fraction, our numerator is less than our denominator. Okay. So our numerator of 5 is less than our denominator of 10. Okay. Our numerator of 3 is less than our denominator of 8. Our numerator of 1 is less than our denominator of 2. The second type of fraction is known as an improper fraction. And we're going to do some of these just in a bit. And with the improper fraction, that would be like 20 over 8. Okay. Or 12 over 5. My numerator, yellow, is bigger than my denominator, which is blue. My numerator of 12 is bigger than my denominator of 5. So let's do one more. What about an improper fraction of 19 over 15? Okay. My numerator, 19, is bigger than my denominator of 15. Okay. And the last type of fraction are mixed numbers. So for instance, if I have 2 and 3/5, 2, okay, which is always bigger than your fraction, is my whole number. Okay. That's my whole number. So we'll give it its own color. It's going to be green. Okay. And then 3/5, of course, is my fraction. Okay. 3 would be my numerator. I'll say N for numerator. And then D would be my denominator. And that's how you have a mixed number, because we have a whole number of 2 with the fraction. Another example of a mixed number could be 5 and a half. Okay. 5, of course, would be my whole number. Okay. 1/2 will be my fraction. 1 is my numerator. 2 is my denominator. Okay. And that's how we have a mixed number. And to give you an example of a mixed number, say I bought 3 pieces. So it's 1, 2, 3. Okay, so of course we're going to divide all our pieces. Divide all these delicious pieces. Feel free to draw this with me. So for each of these, they have the same number of parts. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so each has 8 slices. Okay, so if I was to eat this pizza, but then I only ate 4 slices out of this pizza, so I didn't eat the whole thing. So since I ate both of these, that's 2 whole pizzas, and then this would be a fraction. Okay, so we already said we had 5, 6, 7, 8. We already said that we had 8 slices in all. And then how many of them did I eat? 1, 2, 3, 4. So that would be 2 and 4/8. So if I had 2 chocolate bars, okay, and they both were split into what? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so they're both split into 4s. 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, if you need any time, you can pause it so that you can write this down. Okay. So, since I'm greedy, I ate this whole candy bar. And I ate all of this candy bar in one piece. How much of the 2 candy bars did I eat? Okay. So I ate this one whole candy bar, which will give me 1. Okay. Since I didn't eat this whole candy bar, it has to be a fraction. So how many parts of the fraction are there? Good, 4. Then how many did I eat? 1, 2, 3. So that would have been 1 3/4. Super good job. Okay. I appreciate you guys for joining me for our first installment, just giving us some basic understanding of what fractions are and how we can use models to understand them a little better. I appreciate you for joining me for this session. Next up, we will be adding and subtracting fractions as part 2 of our episode 1. Stay tuned.